Hello, I'm Robin, pronouns she, they. Mainly she, to be fair. Nobody uses they, but the option is there. The option is there to use he. But they don't particularly like that. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. Today is about a consultation. And even though it says private hospital on that document, I'm actually having that done as part of the NHS. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my journey to get into the place where I've had that consultation. I've only had the one consultation about it. That journey has involved me going through the Welsh Gender Service, which is part of the NHS. I had to get 2 psychologists to sign off on this, and they were both roughly 90-minute consultations, basically involving a discussion of my life history. Nothing really invasive, I would say. I have heard some horror stories about these consultations that may or may not have happened. I don't know. I can say that in my case, none of them were in none of them did I have to go into any level of graphic detail. But anyway, I had those, and then I was put on the waiting list for that first consultation. So that's been how long? I think I'm gonna say about 11 months. I've been waiting about 11 months for this first consultation about the surgery that was referred to on that piece of paper. Well, that booklet, essentially. Or a collection of pieces of paper that have a staple in the corner for total accuracy. So I went there. It's in Putney, which is in London, and I spoke to my consultant, who I've chosen. There are 2 consultants in that hospital that work in this area, and I chose the one who only deals solely in this. And it was quite a short consultation. The area of my anatomy had to be looked at, of course. That examination took all of 10 seconds. In my case, I was told that I don't need any hair removal for the operation. I suspect that's because my skin is completely intact down there. And I was asked about my history. I've got a bit of a history of asthma, and it is well controlled. I don't really have any other medical issues, so I was just put straight on the waiting list. I was not asked during this consultation any questions about whether whether I was trans or not. I think anybody who gets to have a consultation like that, it's already established that you are trans, that you have gender dysphoria, which you don't actually need gender dysphoria to be trans. But if you have gender dysphoria, you are trans, so uh, one is a subset completely of the other. And there was a discussion about whether I should go for the aesthetic option. Some people call it shallow depth or zero depth, or whether I should go for the full depth. I'd been very attracted to the shallow depth option because there are fewer complications with that. However, I'm still pretty young at 50. I've probably got 3 decades left in me, thereabouts. That's probably about an average. I'm pretty healthy. I gave up alcohol in January this year. It's 2023 as I film this. I've never smoked. I keep fairly active, and even though the kind of relationship that I'm in at the moment, which is with my wife, would not how can I put it, the outcome would not result in use of that in a heterosexual way. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, and also I might want to play with toys. I don't think I'm going to go into any more detail there. I think it's pretty plain what that means. But this is the thing. The other thing I want to say, well, before I go on to that, the one thing about this surgery, if you have the aesthetic option, although it has fewer complications and one does not have to dilate multiple times per day as a result of it, you either have no option to change your body further to get a full cavity, or it's far more difficult because the skin's gone. So I've ended up choosing what I believe for me is the path of least regrets. And I have seen some videos. You could search for videos by Dr Quinney from the Welsh Gender Service, who has interviewed my consultant and also 2 of his patients that have had this operation, one of whom had shallow depth and one of whom had full depth, and they both discussed how it's worked for them. I've watched a lot of other videos. I think everybody who is interested in this operation looks at a lot of videos from trans people as regards how it works. They do a lot of research, probably far more than most people would going into any operation. They do a lot of research going into this to understand exactly what's going to happen and all of that sort of stuff. And I've done that, and I've ended up making my choice. So I'm on a waiting list now of about 6 months. as I understand it, there'll be one more consultation before it. There'll be one consultation about 10 weeks after it. The operation basically involves a week as an inpatient. You come out, you're mobile, you can use public transport at the end of that, which is probably what I will do. I'll probably take the train back to where I live. I don't think you're allowed to drive at that point because you're not fit enough. I'm not sure when you do become fit enough. And of course this applies to having the surgery in this particular way. In my case it's a penile inversion technique and involves no skin grafts or anything like that. What else was I going to say? Yeah, one thing I quite like is the staff there seem to have a bit of a sense of humour. During my consultation, I just told my surgeon that I just want this to be done because I want the world to hate me even more, and they laughed. I think they know the score. That's probably all they see there is trans women. Some of whom will have changed their voice and be more gender conforming than I am. I've obviously chosen not to. It was probably a more comfortable experience than probably the most comfortable it could be. I'm not particularly uncomfortable viewing that area of my anatomy. I wanted to change, of course. I can't tell you what the surgery is going to be like at the moment because, well, I've got to wait until it's happened, and maybe I'll film about it and document. Well, I'm not going to take a camera in there. There have been YouTubers that have done this. I'm not going to, but I'll probably talk about it afterwards. It's a way off yet. I'm really happy about it. Looking forward to it, which is probably a strange thing for somebody having surgery to say, but it kind of it's another affirmation. I am a trans woman, and I want to align my anatomy more closely with that I feel it should be, and this is the only surgery I'm looking for. I'm happy at the moment, and this is probably going to be the end of my journey. There could be complications. I have accepted that. That is the price of this. I'm not going to go into detail over those because you can look those up from other YouTubers. You can look those up from various other sources. As I say, I strongly recommend Dr Quinney's series from the Welsh Gender Service of interviews to find out this stuff. There's no point me just rehashing that. You'll get a good idea of the possible complications from that, and we did discuss those. As I say, there are more potential complications if you go for full depth, but I'm healthy, as I said, and I think Oh yeah, the other thing, my body mass index, uh, it's around 24, so I'm not overweight. I have been overweight in the past, which is one of the reasons I stopped drinking alcohol, because it's helped cut down on that weight. Honestly, I don't miss it. I don't suppose I shall ever drink alcohol again. Not that I was ever a heavy drinker, but I was drinking about 20 units a week at one point, so possibly a little bit more than that, because that's what I said I was drinking, and I think we always tend to drink a bit more than what we declare on the form. So I'm happy with that. If you do have any questions, as long as they're respectful, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you think it's odd what I'm doing, well, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it just for me. It's what I want. I can't tell you why I want it. I just want it. If it wasn't an option, then obviously I wouldn't be going through with it, but it is an option, and as it is an option, I do want it. Having said that, I'm not looking at any other surgeries, because there are other surgeries such as breast augmentation, tracheal shave, facial feminization surgery. I think those are the common ones. But I'm comfortable with the breast growth that I've had on hormones. I'm comfortable with the way my face looks. I'm happy with that. I think it's kind of, I think I've got basically a kind of androgynous look. It's fine. And I'm really not worried about my Adam's apple being on show. Everybody has one, not just cis men and trans women. Everybody has one. It's just more prominent in cis men and some trans women. Oh, and the other one, yes, one more surgery that's possible is voice feminization, which doesn't all that often work as I understand it. And in any case, it's certainly not something that I intend to pursue. If you look at my sister channel, Robin Rocks, I don't talk about being trans on there. I'm showing my musician side and my singing side mainly in that, and well, you'll get an idea of perhaps why I like my voice if you look at that. Anyway, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that. As I say, if you put any comments down below, if you have any questions for me, I will try and answer them, as long as they're not too invasive, of course, and as long as they're respectful. Any comments that aren't respectful are going to get deleted, and please be careful of the comments if you're of a disposition that if you happen to see trolly comments you get upset. Maybe that's not for you, but I do try and delete them, and please don't respond to any trolls in the comments. It's just for me to delete those. And thank you so much for watching. I will say, if you would like to subscribe, I try and make one of these videos once a week. That doesn't cost you anything, but I'm honestly okay with you not subscribing if you don't wish to. This isn't how I make my money or anything. I'm just doing this to hopefully inform people who are trans or are questioning, or are cisgender people who would simply like to know more about it. And thank you very much. Hopefully I will record another video for next week. Thank you.